Hey guys,
Hi.
Hello.
happy Hump Day.
Thank you.
Everyone ready for
Is it
Christmas?
the last hump day of the year? No, one more.
No, we're not there yet.
2 more, right?
There's
one
two
more. Right?
Those two.
2 more humps?
Two
more
humps.
days.
2 more humps till the decade's
Well,
over?
actually, technically, no. The first will be the next
hump?
Wednesday after
The
next
first
week.
is a hump?
Yeah.
Wow.
Second to last hump day of the decade.
Start the year on a hump.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we have a Christmas decorated set. Pete, did you do this? Oh, gosh.
Pete, come on.
Pete, just,
Yes. This is show business.
Okay.
Gosh. Talk about killing the momentum on the beginning of a hump day.
It looks pretty
Yes.
terrible.
Just-
We have a
just don't break it all right
odd-colored
away.
set decoration. We have purple, which I don't understand why we have purple, whatever these things are
this
called.
isn't Christmas, Pete.
The star, I don't know if that's some
It-
sort
it
of
was-
homage to the Jews, but that's not a traditional
Yeah,
Jewish
this is
star.
real janky.
Okay,
holiday.
the 99-cent store only had so many colors in the tinsel, so we had to go with what we got.
Okay. Well,
The
listen,
whole star thing, that just got out of hand.
That's what someone from Wisconsin thinks a Jewish scar looks like.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
a lot of spikes.
All right, well, listen, we're doing our part. We
Yeah.
have Christmas spirit.
Yes.
Are you guys excited? You guys excited for family time? Do you guys join up as a super family?
We do that for Thanksgiving.
Got it.
Thanksgiving
Yeah.
is super family day.
So Christmas, you break off.
Christmas, him and his wife have a lot of people to visit. I kind of post up in Huntington Beach.
Got
with
it.
Yeah,
the
you basically
in-laws.
have to choose Thanksgiving or Christmas. Which way are you going to go?
So Thanksgiving's in the Valley, Christmas is in Orange County.
Thanksgiving we did it at his house,
my
actually.
place, my house.
Nice.
And then I'm going to do Huntington Beach for probably 4 days, 5 days. Really,
Wow.
I might even
really
see-
immerse yourself.
I might see Ripke down there.
Wow.
We were
You
planning
might
to
come back with the red hat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's possible.
go full MAGA.
I think that's possible.
Yeah.
I think
Have
there's
some
Match all of
different-
our newsletter subscribers if you go full MAGA.
Have different views on immigration.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
want to go talk about
Just
the
walk
wall-
around yelling racial slurs.
I think they would welcome you in to have an Indian.
Indians are MAGA.
I know, but to really have like a representative with a platform.
I think what would be interesting is if you watch Patriot Act ever?
No.
Okay, so the most recent episode is Hassan Minhaj going to when Modi, the prime minister, came to Houston. I think we talked about it, and Donald Trump was there, and how MAGA the Indians were,
Yeah.
and how they were yelling at him, and it was just it's hysterical because you add the Indian accent and yelling at him, and then at the end, one of the guys is like, "Can I take a picture?"
And this is also a true story. When the Trump campaign was happening in the last election, they flew in Bollywood stars to New Jersey like Indians for MAGA Trump.
Oh my gosh.
That actually happened.
What do you think Trump thinks about it? Like,
I love the Hindus.
Yeah, that's what he said. I love the Hindus.
but I mean, what do you think he really thinks? What's the
I don't
thing?
think he gives a shit about anyone or anything. It's how do I, as Trump, advance?
Yeah.
He's like, if these 7-Eleven turban-wearing motherfuckers want to vote for me,
Yeah.
great.
Okay. Well, listen, I think because we just stumbled into politics,
Yes.
there's something I want to address.
Yeah.
It turns out, so like, we send these newsletters, we talk about what we talk about on here. Number one, I just want to say, I think it's funny that the only negative feedback that we get frequently
Yeah.
are Trump supporters that say we don't know anything about politics.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not going to try to claim that we know a lot about politics.
Well, I don't even think...
I know enough.
But here's my point. Let me just finish what
I
I was
have
saying.
informed opinions.
You just made yourself a target.
But here's what I'm saying. Number
Please
one, you're
come
a
at
target. And what I'm saying is the stories that we talk about are not like political details.
No.
We're talking about like headlines.
It's more thematic.
So it just is weird to me that the only people that think that we don't know anything about politics are one very specific group.
Yeah, it's not like I sit here or you guys sit here and say, this is how healthcare should be run.
Yeah.
And
We don't
that's
do that.
politics.
And I also think it's not that we don't know anything about politics. It's just that you don't like our opinion on the matter.
You don't like our
Which-
opinion on a person.
And I think the challenge That's the mistake of media today, and why we're so divisive is because most people cannot sit and hear an opposing opinion.
Yeah.
And if you're incapable of doing that, you're not capable of making an informed decision in real life.
Yeah.
And so, you know, the most well-read, the best leaders of our society, excluding the current president, listen to opposing views and are compassionate for why they believe or think a certain way.
Yeah.
Like, I don't agree with Republican immigration strategy, but I get it.
Yeah.
I understand why people think that way. And I think people, unfortunately, are so brainwashed by the media channel of their choice that they're incapable of listening to the other person. And it's on both sides.
So I want to highlight one comment that is on our podcast review on iTunes.
Yeah, please. There's
No, but this one's actually good.
Yeah,
And
okay.
I want to say like a positive.
Got it,
note.
got it.
So the title is "I Respectfully Disagree." Gives us 5 stars.
Oh, I'll take it.
Christopher-
I've already tuned out.
Already
I got
sold.
5 stars. I don't
Thank
give a shit
you.
now.
His name's Christopher James, so that's what he inputted.
Hey, Chris.
CJ.
From one Chris to another,
With
I
a
just want to
K.
say thank you. Oh.
Christopher with a K.
KJ.
And he says, "I'm mostly conservative leaning and from the East Coast, but still love this podcast to get me outside of my bubble. So thanks for making me seem so much smarter and more diverse than I actually am."
I like that.
Look at that.
great.
Thoughtful
It's great.
guy.
So we have to highlight, some positive
You're right.
things.
You're right. I just think it's funny that it's like become this tactic of a specific group of people to hate on, like you don't know anything, you don't know what you're talking about. It's like we don't talk about politics on this show. We talk about the president, and you know what I'm saying. Like we're not. This isn't a political podcast.
Yeah.
But anyway, amazing. But there was another one. There's some other feedback that we've been getting that kind of surprised me. That we have to talk about is Greta Thunberg or whatever.
Yeah.
So we literally just talked about her being Times Person of the Year.
Yeah.
Her beef with Trump. We said congrats, good work, whatever, do your thing.
And even from the Trump perspective, all we did was highlight how he was mocking a 16-year-old girl with Asperger's.
Yeah, which is true.
Those are factual.
And how
You
she
can't
trolled
debate
him on
that.
Twitter. That's
Yeah.
a fact.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't debate any of the things we talked about.
You may not like her opinion that she believes that there's climate issues on Earth.
Yeah.
That science is on our side. Yeah, we're not arguing, even though that's also fact.
Sure. But I'm just saying it was pretty light. Like it was pretty. I just want to paint the picture for anyone who didn't hear it. Like it was pretty light. Like congratulations, this 16-year-old got Time Person of the Year.
Yeah.
Then we did a newsletter about it. We did a newsletter about Trump talking shit to her on Twitter and her responding and her millennial use of or Gen Z use of Twitter and how good it was. We have never gotten so much feedback negatively about our stance ever in the history of the podcast. I had no idea the amount of people that aggressively hate little Greta.
Yeah, so she's public enemy number 1.
Public enemy number 1 is a 16-year-old girl that's like just
But
doing her best, man.
Some of these responses I got like 40 emails about how bad she was in response to the newsletter, and they're so aggressive. Like, she's a whiny little bitch that doesn't know shit. She shares her anger, frustration, anxiety about the climate with the world. She's neither a scientist or an economist. No practical solutions. And then someone else would be like, she was sitting on the floor when someone bought her a first-class ticket. Like, what an entitled bitch. And I was like, what's going, like, why?
So here's where I understand why people dislike her. I do see it because there's a level of like, I don't know, condescending nature of the way
I do
she
too.
speaks that irritates people that think they're well informed on the topic.
Yep.
Fine. I think what people don't understand, the good that she's actually doing is she giving solutions? No. All she's doing is bringing awareness. It is not her job to bring a solution to climate change. She has no fucking clue how to solve that problem. But she has brought in a lot of awareness and got a lot of young people excited about what's happening and how we can solve some problems.
Yeah.
The problem is it's another situation that gets blown out of proportion. Even when Trump brought up the immigration things and said there's all these murderers and rapists coming into the country. I'll be honest, I Googled immigration things because I was like, what is he talking about exactly? Because I'm just curious, like, maybe he's right. I don't know. Yeah. So
It's like, I got to be informed when I go to Huntington Beach.
if I'm at the coffee shop, I'm like, did you see that murderer and rapist just walk by here with a fucking latte? So oat milk? Murderers and rapists are drinking oat milk?
Yeah, you need to know you're talking.
Yeah. So at least I took the effort to understand why he's saying that, and I understood the spin he's taking on it. This is like, I'm no like Greta super fan. Like I personally don't think we're gonna get anywhere if everyone just keeps bashing everybody. But there's clearly, you have to believe there's some issue with the climate. It is changing.
A lot of people don't.
But here's the thing: is can everyone agree?
Here,
Hold on 1 second.
Yeah.
Can we all agree the climate has changed from 50 years ago?
Yes, it's winter now. It was summer earlier.
Okay, that's it.
I will agree.
No, I think the counter from the non-science based people is that the Earth changes temperatures. You're just blaming fossil fuels and stuff that makes sense of why the climate
Well,
has
also
changed.
that the Earth naturally lets off a certain amount of CO2, and essentially the warming was going to happen anyway.
Yeah. So you can't debate the
But
climate
that means
has
the climate
changed.
is changing.
Sure, but also like the amount of scientists that have agreed unanimously.
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't know, man. I'm not a scientist, but if I trust anyone, I trust the majority of what scientists say.
Yes.
That's all I have to trust.
And the thing about it is, when you actually start researching the people that are saying that this is all bullshit.
Yeah.
If it was like, oh, he's the senior VP of marketing at ExxonMobil, I'd be like, I expect this guy to stand by his word because he gets paid. It is literally nobody's.
Yeah, but but here's what the Republican Party has done an incredible job at doing is they've made their base hate everything that comes from the other side so much that even when it's fact-based, they just are they're just ingrained to say, no, you're wrong. Guns don't kill people. People kill people. Like, what's
Democrats do.
It's like,
And immigrants kill people.
Murderers.
Yeah. This is my point. I just can't imagine having so much hate for little Greta.
Yeah.
Who cares? Yeah, I get why she can be kind of annoying. I get it.
Yes.
But like, come on, man. This young girl, it's just whatever. My point is, for the fact of all the wild shit we talk about and all the ridiculous stances we take on this show, for the top thing to be that we lightly supported Greta Thunberg to be what caused all the outrage is nuts.
And
Dee marched across the stage doing the Chinese national anthem. and
no one
gave
said
a
a peep.
shit.
That is the most anti-American thing you can do.
And we posted it everywhere.
Yeah.
Like it was seen all over.
And everyone's like, lol.
Nothing.
Love it. Anyway, fuck Greta.
no, but it just shows you how much hatred there is from one side to another side, regardless of what the issue is.
It's
And
wild.
I'll give you a better example that's actually way worse is when Emma Gonzalez got attacked and all of her friends were killed.
Yeah.
They were attacking Emma Gonzalez and her classmates for standing up. And those people actually went through a school shooting and their best friends were murdered.
I will say the most hate that I've ever got on anything social media in the last 2 years, I would say the most hate that I've gotten on anything social media in the last few years has been the picture I posted from when we went to the March for Our Lives rally.
Wow.
Just being there.
Yeah.
My comments were nuts. I was deleting comments because it was so nuts. Normally I don't care. I didn't even want them on my thing.
Wow.
So if we want to rank what issues does the far right get most excited about? Guns, immigration, and climate change? Is that pretty much the three? Then if you were to post in
broad,
Kaepernick.
Yeah, so Kaepernick...
Kaepernick's by far one. Yes, I mean...
I would say Kaepernick, Greta, right? But high level, I would say...
It's not even climate change,
race-
it's Greta over climate change.
Yeah,
'cause
yeah.
that's what
They don't even, they're not so worried about climate change. It's that little Greta brat that they're worried about.
Yeah, and
don't stand against the Donald.
How dare you? Time, Person of the Year, you shitting me?
Yeah.
It should have been the Donald. I heard the Donald has a fake Time Person of the Year photoshopped image in Mar-a-Lago.
I mean, so do we.
Well,
No, we podcasted it.
but we admit we faked it. We don't think we should have won over Greta. Anyway, okay, well, I just thought it was worth bringing up.
Yeah.
It's just funny how as this thing grows, we start to have these weirder and weirder like interactions. Like you go to the live show, you meet a guy from a company that you were talking about. You do this, people recognize you in Miami.
Yeah.
Also, you realize that people take this Greta shit way too serious.
Yeah.
And there's like this outrage about it. It's interesting.
Well, I mean, and don't get me wrong, there's things where like liberal people will attack on social media that I think is completely asinine too.
Yeah, that's why I have such a big problem with the way AOC and Elizabeth Warren are going about their politics.
Yeah.
by just like actively misleading their base,
Yeah.
which is what the criticism of the Republican side is.
But I'd like to think for a podcast with three guys who are registered as Democrats, we're about as fair as it gets.
Yeah.
Like,
I just criticized the two of the biggest faces of the
Stars.
Democratic Party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, whatever.
Just shut up, Greta.
Just some updates. But I mean,
Shut your
apparently-
little mouth.
Apparently Greta's got to pipe down. 'cause-
Go and play Fortnite, drink Bang Energy.
Jeez. Okay.
Is that what millennials do?
Yes.
Yes, it is. Go make a TikTok, Greta. Okay, are we ready for some news?
Yeah.
Virgil Abloh, the king of streetwear, and I would argue to say right now men's fashion, has done an interview and said that streetwear will die soon. What's going on? Do you think he's seeing the future? Do you think he's maybe just his break? He's on break right now. Maybe he's just so tired. He's hoping it'll die. What do you think?
So he did a interview with Dazed, and it's talking about like his rise to kind of popularity. It starts about talking about that famous picture that happened at Paris Fashion Week
Yep.
with him, Kanye, and the whole camp, and how that was like the signal of like what was to come, and kind of really discussing how his whole crew has like kind of controls fashion right now. And that they were asking, like, what do you think about the future of fashion and streetwear? And he feels that streetwear is going to die because how many more T-shirts and hoodies do you actually need? And, you know, it's oversaturated. And does, you know, what's next? And he's saying you're going to go back into your archive. You're going to go find vintage clothes. And you're going to buy you're going to buy stuff that already existed instead. I completely disagree.
Yeah.
I don't think streetwear is going to die. I think it's just going to evolve. And what streetwear is defined by, it's so broad.
Yeah.
So what streetwear means to you, me, or you know, someone off the street are three different things.
Yeah.
And so
Go, keep
I
going.
think the idea that streetwear to me is anything youth culture, anything rebellious, anything anti, anything like the fact that an anti-social club can just become this powerful brand off this guy's Instagram.
Yeah.
And then same time, Virgil can go become the artistic director of Louis Vuitton off of streetwear.
Yeah.
Two different things. I think people in streetwear that are older and that have been in it, I've been around streetwear now 17 years. I am not a bitter old streetwear head that says, it left me, so fuck everyone coming up.
Yeah.
Which that's what I think usually happens.
Yeah.
You get it happens in skateboarding. I see it. I remember hearing from you all the bitter old skateboarders
Yeah.
and the way they used to talk about what's happening. Oh, the culture's changed.
Yeah.
And in streetwear, it's just going to evolve. There's going to be these new young people that develop their brands, develop their concepts, and that is streetwear.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's the community of the people more than what you define as the actual product that comes from this culture. So when we started in clothing, LRG was streetwear,
Yes.
right? And now it's evolved to Off-White and, you know, Amiri and all these different brands. So I just think it's kind of reckless the way he, like the interview and the comment specifically related to streetwear seemed kind of just not really thought through.
Yeah, and yeah,
'Cause it's
I
good for
agree.
headlines.
My argument is if streetwear is going to die, it's already dead.
Yeah.
Meaning, like, it's not. There isn't streetwear. Like, there were people that used to argue that LRG wasn't streetwear because it was too big, and it wasn't what streetwear is really all about. And when you look at like what streetwear was, like these T-shirt companies that emerged from skateboarding and blah blah blah. Like Virgil designing for Louis Vuitton is not that. It's that sort of blended in with luxury.
Yeah.
And now there's like, is Amiri streetwear?
No.
I don't know. Or is it like a streetwear inspired luxury? I don't know. I think it's already sort of went away. And I think that it's literally like Instagram and social media controls fashion, and that will evolve, and whatever's hot will be hot and whatever. But like, I don't think what Virgil does is really even considered streetwear anymore. It's so far away from where they came from.
But there's going to be, and that's the thing. That's why there's this new generation of brands. We may not even know what they are right now, but they're going to be the next biggest thing in the world.
Yeah.
I know I kind of said it on the live pod, but I think he's peaked.
It could be. I wouldn't argue with you.
I don't think Virgil's going to be bigger next year than he is this year.
Yeah.
Virgil as a personality.
Yes.
Yeah, probably. I agree. I can tell you that everything he's done at Louis Vuitton is the most sought after fashion pieces, though. Like, if you just look at the demand for the product, the LV stuff specifically.
Yeah.
I mean, just look at his first collection and go look at the resale value of it. It's insane. Insane product.
Yeah, I still think that's like we're still dealing with the aftershock of him being so big.
Yeah.
Like when you're that big, that lasts for years.
Yeah.
And I think he's a
there's
good
a long
designer.
tail whenever you get anything gets that big.
And I think also he can also have his moments. Like he can come back next summer, get back on the DJ circuit, do all he needs is like 2 hot collabs and he's the hottest thing in the world.
Yeah. No, it's fair. I just really that response really kind of struck me negatively.
Yeah.
And the
about how I
interesting thing
perceive
is,
him.
but the one comment he did say about vintage, that I actually think is an interesting comment, because if sustainability is actually a big part of fashion going forward, then vintage just has to be bigger.
Yeah, but if that guy goes from what we perceive as hoodies and t-shirts as streetwear, and vintage is what he's wearing, that's streetwear now.
Yeah, that's true. That's why that
Yeah.
whole thing.
No, I'm not even talking about that comparison. I just agree with the notion that I do think vintage would be a bigger part
like
of
vintage
it.
was super hot at Complex Con.
Yeah, like
Yeah, it
Eric
was still
Deluxe wears
streetwear.
vintage.
Yeah.
He's as streetwear as it gets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's stupid. I think he's arguing like semantics.
It's because older people in streetwear, specifically his age group,
yeah.
it's not the streetwear they grew up on.
Yeah, but you did that, Virgil.
Yeah.
Who you? Just shut up.
Yeah.
Just chill on the beach or whatever the hell you're doing.
Yeah, he's so rich. Go and enjoy life.
Gosh. Okay. How about? Ooh, this is a topic I love.
Yep.
Takashi 6ix9ine. So there is a very good chance that by the time you're hearing this podcast, Takashi 6ix9ine is a free person.
You know, that was one of my second half predictions of the year, that he would be released before the end of the year.
I think I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
I think I said by the end of the
I
year.
feel like dramas followed this story the most closely.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Because here's the other thing. Complex just announced they're doing a Spotify original podcast.
Yeah.
The story of Takashi 6ix9ine.
I love it.
Here's the interesting thing. That podcast is going to be out while he also has the biggest song on Spotify. And it's going to be the story of what happened to him. And it's not like he didn't die. Most of those like crime stories, they're dead or in jail or whatever. He's going to be the biggest artist on Spotify while there's a Spotify original about what happened to him.
Yeah.
While he's like headlining Rolling Loud.
Yeah.
While he's like dodging gunfire.
And from the rumors I've heard from music people, he's got an album ready to go.
And on Breakfast Club, they said that his label had already reached out for an interview like this week.
And they're saying no.
They're saying no.
So if just because you know the facts better than I do,
Yep.
he was facing a minimum 47 years and he's going to be let out within a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a big delta.
That's it. Yep.
And he also says he doesn't want witness protection when he comes out.
I think that's marketing. Well, he doesn't want to be in like an official witness protection
Well, first of
program.
all, where is this guy going with his face tats and not getting recognized?
I mean, he's going to have security. No one's going to do anything.
No
People
one's
are going
gonna
to
do
talk
it.
a lot of shit.
Like, if I was very liquid,
Yeah.
I'd advance him $5 million and let's go do everything.
Oh, yeah, advanced. Yeah.
Music.
Yeah, and I feel if the label, this is where it's going to be interesting, the label or whoever is going to be the entity that makes all the money,
Yep.
like if you don't surround them with real security, like ex-Navy SEALs,
Yeah.
like I don't know what you're doing. You
Well-
gotta protect your investment.
Or it could be vice versa.
Get them killed and get bigger.
Yes. R.I.P.
Good thing you
6ix9ine.
don't have the liquid cash to invest. Holy shit.
R.I.P. 6ix9ine is better for business.
Yeah,
He's
right after
affiliated
Coachella.
somehow in Takashi 6ix9ine business, and Takashi is dead. He is your prime suspect.
100%.
We have
He will-
D's investment thesis now. Just invest in people and kill them.
Yeah. He will time a well-timed album release right after the murder.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is just fascinating. I think he was up for like a minimum 47 years or something. He wrote a nice apology letter. His girlfriend wrote an apology letter. He's sorry for getting mixed up and promoting gang life. He told on literally everyone.
And
So-
did all
so
those
I-
people get put in jail? The people
Everyone
he told
else
on?
did.
I
He
think
told
if
on
I was
Cardi
him,
B.
Everybody else got like real sentences.
if I was him, I make the call. You know what I do this Sunday? I go to Sunday service. I come out with Kanye,
Repent for your sins.
repent, do the interview with Kanye, become religious, and you win.
Yeah,
You can't kill a born again.
Yeah, and they would have him.
And
We've had the
tax-free.
conversation
Yeah.
about religion. They're like, well, you know what?
They let you forgive and forget.
yeah, I
Joel
guess
Osteen featuring
that's
Takashi 6ix9ine.
that's the 2019 hack. If you ever get caught,
Go
in
religious.
something
You
You
that's
get jammed up.
Find God.
Yeah.
If you can't find a good lawyer, find God.
Yeah.
Would Harvey Weinstein be accepted at
He's
Sunday
Jewish.
service?
It's not a word for you.
No, but if he switches, jump over the aisle.
If he goes over to
Jews can't be
Christianity,
religious.
Technically, they would have to take it.
I don't think the Jews are going to take him back.
Technically, I think Christians would have to take him.
They have to take him.
By this logic.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Christians have to take him.
Okay, well, I'm so excited to hear what's going to happen.
Sunday service.
This generation, and I have no dog in the fight. This generation does not give a shit.
I don't give a shit. If he
Which
puts out a hot
generation are you
song,
referring to?
Yeah. But I'm
if
just
he
saying,
put out
yeah.
a hot
Yeah,
record
yeah.
on new music this Friday, I will be listening to it.
Oh, yeah, you will.
I still have his old music
And
playing.
What did
in
you
my
think of the last
life.
album?
Like we don't come from any sort of street environment. If he snitched on people that probably were actually the ones doing the crimes, the world's probably safer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
if I was in his
Because
position, I
Takashi
would
wasn't the
snitch.
one
And I just want to
killing
hear the
people.
argument because, or I just want to say the argument that the whole thing is like he snitched on these guys. He used gang life to give himself clout, and then he snitched on them. Those guys also used him for money.
Yes,
and like
they
that
stole
was a very
all of his money.
Stupid
Controversial
move by them.
2020 person
Well,
of
I'm
the year,
just saying.
Takashi.
Yeah.
He locked him.
Look,
Give him
John,
15
like
minutes.
time 2020.
And let me tell you something. If you're walking around killing people, I'm telling on you. I'm like, you're a murderer.
That's fucked up, man.
Wow.
You gotta go.
You just go tell on me?
Yeah.
What if I came to you, I'm like, look, D, shit got way out of hand.
Yeah.
I was leaving 7-Eleven, and this guy ran up on me. I killed him.
I'd be like,
Self-defense, or was it you? Were you the
Well,
aggressor?
I thought it was self-defense, but actually, he was asking
You
for a
probably should be
donation.
removed from society for a little bit.
I should?
Yeah.
You guys are
Because how do
assholes.
I know you're not going to do that next week?
yeah,
not telling you shit.
Wow, you guys are the real pussies here.
6ix9ine's over here.
Keep the streets safe.
Yeah, I don't need this.
I think
riffraff
our
on the
MAGA
streets.
fan base will agree with us on this.
Yeah.
That's true. Okay, well, listen, he's going to be bigger than ever, and man, I hope he's out right now as you're hearing this. But I think he's going to hop right on Instagram stories and be like, "Suck my dick." I told you, bitch. Anyway, but we'll see. Okay, let's talk about you have a little story here about. I'm going to just butcher this. Kumail
Yeah.
Kumail.
Nanjiani.
Let's just say the guy from Big Sick and Silicon Valley, the Indian guy.
Okay, so there's no way the guy from Big Sick in Silicon Valley. Thank you. There's a photo of him going around, ready for his role for this new Marvel movie, where he's just absolutely ripped.
Yes.
This isn't real.
This thing has set the internet on fire. He just tweeted. I just went on his Twitter. He tweeted that this thing's gotten out of hand, and it's him in the Pornhub section of Muscular Men. They updated his picture.
No.
And so he is a star, one of the stars of the new Marvel movie that's coming out. So he got jacked for this.
That is not a real photo.
Okay, here's the thing. I believe it's a real photo.
Oh my gosh.
I'll tell you the thing
Is that because he's Indian?
no, I actually the main. I'll tell you what the caveat to it is.
Okay.
He says he had a nutritionist and he worked out. I see Anand. He works out really hard. He's never going to get there.
No chance.
No chance. This guy did steroids.
I mean, not even a question.
Okay, so-
and it's photoshopped.
I think sure there's a Photoshop edge to it, but Indians do get ripped. They just do steroids.
Who?
There are people out there.
Would name one other.
Sunset Tower Hotel.
I was at Sunset Tower. I didn't get ripped. No, we didn't give me the right cocktail.
I think there's like a supplement Indian I see on Instagram. He always is jacked and ripped. There's definitely doing steroids. As Indians, our genetics.
I'll give you one. Prakash Amritraj. He does not take drugs,
He does not.
and he's ripped.
He's really
Who?
ripped.
Is that one of your friends?
yeah.
I don't know, man.
It gave me a hope until I realized he probably took drugs.
How old is he?
He's older than me for sure.
You know what I wish is these guys would be like, yeah, I did a shit ton of steroids.
So we know.
To be honest,
There's
don't
someone
do it-
we know that acted in some really big superhero films, and he was not Indian.
Yeah.
and we know for a fact he took steroids.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but
So, and that guy's in a much more athletic race than
but that's what I'm saying is like this guy. How old is?
He looks like he's 40.
There's no way.
Yeah.
And here's my other thing. Just say you did steroids.
I would
Just say,
respect
yeah, this is why I
the
did.
admittance of steroids.
Yeah. Say I had to get ready for this role. I am jacked up on steroids right now.
It's not
HGH
illegal.
steroids.
It's not illegal.
No. Just tell us.
You're
the
not in the
truth.
NBA. You're not in the MLB. You're allowed to do it.
But
Yes.
don't do an article and say you had a nutritionist
The best trainer.
and
the
a
best-
trainer.
It's
Fucking liar.
yeah, I'm sure it's misleading, but he went viral. Like he's already a big star.
He's a
obviously.
big star to you.
No, everyone.
No one knew his name.
No one knows his name, but everyone knows his face.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, man.
He needs
Of
to
any
come with-
transformation, name any transformation. Mark Wahlberg has had some really good ones.
Yeah.
Nothing even compares if this photo is even close to real
Yeah.
to that transformation. I want to see a before and after. This guy definitely was a dad bod Indian dude.
Oh, yeah. Just the
fresh
beer
out of
belly.
Silicon
Yeah,
Valley,
yeah.
and now he's freaking
The
Thor.
best part is he's Pakistani, not even Indian.
Oh, my God.
Now do you believe it?
Yeah. Indians have no chance. Pakistanis, maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Well, listen. Props to him, but I just
He's 41.
Jesus
There's no way.
Christ.
just
41.
tell us the steroid routine so at least we understand it.
Yeah, be
Yeah.
like, I did these steroids. I checked my blood levels. It's maybe it was safe, maybe it wasn't. Like, give us the.
But who cares? I'm a Marvel superhero. So I'm rich forever now.
Oh gosh. Okay. All right. Here's another funny little fact. Netflix in the last year released more original pieces of content, more Netflix originals, than the entire television industry did in 2005. Now, the reason why that's shocking is because it wouldn't be so shocking if that was today, because television's kind of dying. 2005, we're killing it
Yeah.
in television. Netflix originals has released more.
That's insane.
They spent, I
Insane.
think, $13 billion this year. I think that was the number on original content.
How much do they lose a year?
It's in the billions. I'd have to look it up.
That game seems crazy. And then you have Disney and Apple coming out, like now entering the market. So now it's
Yeah.
even more competitive. And this is the type of money you're spending. This has to be like forever in history, locked in time as the craziest time for spending on content.
Mm-hmm.
So I just listened to a podcast with Shonda Rhimes. She was interviewed by Mark Andreessen from Andreessen Horowitz. And he asked her.
She's a Netflix deal, right?
Yeah, she has a Netflix deal. And he asked her, like, what's it like going from traditional network television at ABC to Netflix? Like, what parameters? Netflix is a data-driven company. Do they give you parameters on how you think about it? She's like, for now, they just said make content that makes you happy. How long does that last?
Until they're unhappy.
Yeah, pretty much, right?
I mean, geez.
Let me tell you, Scandal made me happy. So if she makes another Scandal,
So she did Grey's Anatomy, Scandal, and How to Make a Murderer.
But
I
what
don't
a
like the
time
other
to
two,
be
but I love
her.
Scandal.
What?
Like, what a time. Do you
Grey's
know how many-
Anatomy's still on.
It is?
It's 16 seasons.
Those doctors must be
MASH,
old as
and there's only
fuck.
one other show that's ever gone this long.
They're still new.
Yes.
Who's watching Grey's Anatomy?
A lot of middle America. A lot of people that
Newsletter
really
listeners.
don't like Greta Thunberg.
Yeah, if you want to do the
Yeah,
Venn
pie chart,
diagram.
yeah. Okay, well, I think that for people like Shonda Rhimes, all the way down to people who own studios. I know with I told you guys this, but with Rob on Ridiculousness, it was so hard for them to find a studio to even shoot at because every studio is booked when you're booking chunks of time, which that was never the case. So even if you're like a place that rents frickin' lights, business has to just be booming.
Oh, you know
Yeah,
what?
any sound effects guy, video editor, anything. There's got to be so much money being made in all these skilled positions that are somewhat technical relating to putting out highly produced content.
Real quick, I saw a great movie on my plane ride back. from
Okay.
Seattle.
Gosh, here we go.
You ready?
Yep.
Hobbs and Shaw. Unbelievable.
Oh, that's The Rock, and then
Jason Statham.
there's no way that's good.
It's incredible.
There's no chance that's good.
What sucks is the flight was 2 hours and 30 some odd minutes, and the movie was 2 hours, 40 something minutes, I think.
So you're left
Or I
hanging?
started late.
You
I didn't
couldn't
see the
wait to
ending.
see what happened.
The
I don't know what
nail-biting ending.
happened.
Oh, you must be. It probably is impossible to figure out.
I have a feeling it was underwhelming.
No, that series is the greatest series of content ever put out.
Is that technically included in the series?
I think so. I don't know, but it's just
Danny?
unbelievable content.
Huh.
Paul Walker, come on.
What about? Did you guys haven't watched The Irishman yet? Have you?
No, I'm planning. That's going to be part of my.
It's long.
Three-
I started
did you
it, but
did you finish it?
and it looked really good. It was
Yeah.
really good, but it's just long, and I got to get through it. But
Yeah.
apparently, that's like really disrupting. I saw articles about like that will kill theaters even faster.
Yeah.
Because of how I don't know how much it worked. I think it was only in theaters for a very short
Yeah.
window.
They said like 40 million people have started streaming it already.
Wait, why? I'm not following. Why will it kill theaters?
So I'm going to be honest. I'm a bad journalist here. I didn't read the article, but I think that it was about the fact that it was in theaters just to do it, and then was so huge on streaming. It's like, okay, really, what's the point? Like, why wouldn't every movie do this?
Well, I think Netflix, that was part of they announced that plan that they're going to set some of their movies for a 3 to 4 week theatrical release to get,
Yeah, I think that it's saying, once again, I'm completely making this up. So
Just make
I'm
it up.
so
Who cares?
sorry.
No one's going to follow this up. Just make it up.
The Trump rule. Okay.
Yeah.
My point is, think about how it works now. A movie comes out in theaters. It's there for a month. You don't hear about it for 4 months. Then it's on Apple TV. This was like in theaters for 2 weeks on Netflix. Biggest thing ever. Like, why aren't we doing that? Why are theaters like having movies for so long?
Yeah, I think that span will change quickly. Like, there's no reason that a movie runs in the theaters for 5 to 6 weeks, and the 7th week it's not on
I
streaming.
know. I had to wait a year to watch Hobbs and Shaw.
It's so stupid.
It's like an e-com company
No, because
doing a
you
pop-up.
Yeah.
You wait until it's on an airplane.
Airplane.
Which is literally 5 years later.
Yeah, when did Hobbs and Shaw come
That's
out?
literally, that's the only place you watch movies, I think.
Oh, and the one other interesting tidbit from the Mark Andreessen Shonda Rhimes interview.
Yeah.
Mark Andreessen said he talked to his like Hollywood buddies, which I'm sure are the most powerful people in Hollywood, that how social media has affected movies and movie releases. That people take less risks on movies because if you don't resonate on social media after day one, your movie's dead on day 3.
Yeah.
Whereas like 10 years ago, you can
Build
eke out
momentum.
5-6 days and make your money back because no one really knew it was that bad. So people are taking less risk because if you're not hot day one, you're not making your money back, less likely to get the next movie done.
That's
which I
why
was
these
pretty
big
fascinating.
studios are only betting on franchises.
Right,
They
they're
know their
doing
worth.
all the big
Like,
box office.
I'm surprised
Jumanji.
influencers aren't getting paid to like say they went to the movies.
And then they're saying that's also why things shifted to TV because the actual creatives were getting projects greenlit because places like Netflix are just buying everything.
Here's what it really feels like, and tell me if you think I'm wrong.
I will.
Okay,
I
across
thought you'd hold your tongue.
anything pop culture, fashion, movies, food, anything relevant, it feels like social media is causing like a small amount of things to be ultra relevant and the rest to be irrelevant.
Yeah.
Does that seem accurate? Like these shoes are hot. These are the hottest shoes in the world. Everything else is like
Trash.
like whatever.
That's probably not good for like just creative juices,
No, I don't think it's good
right?
at all. I'm just saying it's what it feels like. It feels like when a pair of jeans are hot. You make those jeans, you're hot. If not, everything else is just like, I couldn't really care less.
Yeah, I think that's for the probably a younger, more in tune customer.
Yeah.
You could still fool plenty of people of 16 years of Grey's Anatomy.
Well, yeah, that's a different customer.
But
But
I'm
I'm saying,
saying-
even when you look at album sales, it's like you'll have the big ones that'll do the couple 100,000 or whatever in the first week. All these new little artists are doing like 20,000 in the first week.
Do you see what the number one song in America is? You know what it is?
Roxanne.
No.
It
got dethroned.
What is it?
Mariah Carey, All I Want for
yeah,
Christmas.
yeah.
I did see
That's
that.
insane that a song 25 years, in the streaming era, a song that came out 25 years ago, just because it's a week before Christmas, is getting streamed so
you know
much
what that
it's going
tells
to
me
number
is
one.
that Christmas music needs some innovation.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
why isn't there someone with a new hot Christmas song?
It's hard to top
I
that
think that's
song.
like saying, why is there not someone with a new like hospital doctor show? You know, it's like
Yeah.
Grey's Anatomy. It's just better left
works.
old. But also, that Mariah Carey song is really big on TikTok.
Yeah.
Just want to point that out. Not that it wouldn't have been number one anyway, but the
Right.
kids have really embraced Mariah.
Yes, they have.
Okay. Let's see if we got any ads.
All I want for
Hey, this is Taylor from Online Courses. Check him out. Swipe up.
Okay, and back to some news. Now, this is another good one. We had a big debate that was caused by my Thanksgiving dinner. about Joel Osteen and about, we'll just say religious leaders potentially scamming people out of their money, or maybe, what's the better way to say that? Using their religion as leverage to profit
What
personally.
was it? Tithe?
Tithe, yeah. We were talking about Joel Osteen. So there's a story that apparently the Mormon church has misled members on a fund that is worth $100 billion that was supposed to be completely for charitable usage and maybe hasn't been.
To put things into perspective, Bridgewater Associates, largest hedge fund, has 160 billion. Microsoft has 136 billion. Bill Gates has 111 billion. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints Investment Fund, 100 billion.
SoftBank had 100.
Okay. So
What
here's
are
where
they
it gets
invest- Are they in
murky.
WeWork? What are they in?
Yeah. Here's where it gets murky. This is a former senior portfolio manager at the church's investment division. He's Mormon. He's 41 years old. He worked at a company called Ensign Peak Advisors that is next to the church headquarters. He's a portfolio manager there. His job was obviously overseeing the investments. And, you know, they are a religious organization, so they're exempt from taxes. And he's saying that Ensign should be paying taxes because of the $100 billion portfolio that they have amassed, that they have not done anything for the community. They have not helped religious activities. They're not using those monies to help the church and its members.
So if you dig a little deeper, it's even better. So apparently there's $7 billion a year that they collect from contributions of members of the church.
$7 billion.
Yeah.
$6 billion goes to run everything, and then $1 billion or so is transferred to this company Ensign, which is this portfolio advisor. You know, I used to be in investment banking. There were a lot of Mormons, so I assume there's a really smart population, and they built this portfolio from $12 billion in 1997 to $100 billion. They're one hell of a fund manager.
I mean, where's Ray Dalio? Where's the book on this? What's their principles?
So yeah, here's the
They're
thing.
damn good investors.
Jeez.
Mormons are really smart. They are really, really, really smart. So the fact that they've amassed the fortune is not
I'm not even mad at it.
They're not-
Fuck,
yeah.
They should be releasing books, podcasts.
Yeah, like, let us know at least how you did it.
Yeah.
Shit.
So there's real estate, there's investments, there's all kinds of things. This particular person, who also has a twin brother, they went to the IRS as whistleblowers saying there's something clearly wrong in the way they're handling it, and it's not helping the community, it's not helping the church and its people. They should owe taxes. This is going to be a big scandal.
Yeah.
Because it's $100 billion. It is not like 50 million. It's $100 billion.
So
It's-
anyone that lives in LA, if you drive on Santa Monica close to the 405, you see that big Mormon church. That's real estate that they own. How much is that worth?
$1 billion probably.
Yeah, that's a lot.
All that
God,
luscious
man.
green grass
In
that
dead-hearted
big white
city.
building.
I mean, plenty of money. That's nothing to these guys.
I'm curious to see how Mormons react to this information. And I know there are a lot of Mormon listeners.
You already know. They're going to react like my parents did at Thanksgiving.
You don't think they're going to raise an eyebrow and say, like, unless everyone who's a Mormon gets their college paid for. Does that work like that?
Sure. That'd be awesome if they did, but
Then
they don't.
I'd be like, okay, fine.
They're going to
Take
raise
your
an eyebrow and then they're going to drop $10 in the little plate that goes
The
around.
Mormon community is super tight.
Yeah.
So I know in finance, like the Mormon people make sure they're bringing in more Mormons.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah, because they're all in on the freaking scam.
Yeah, they're the fund managers. They're like 2 and
Collecting
20 on
fees.
100 billion.
Are you kidding?
Are you kidding me?
Oh my
This
God.
is amazing because it's like, it's insane how much money and wealth they've created.
Yeah.
And maybe people would argue that they are doing stuff for the community. This person was on the inside, so he saw the books and he thought otherwise. He is, however, incentivized as a whistleblower. He does get a
you
cut
get a piece.
if they do recall
People
any
are
taxes.
snitching on snitch on criminals. You may get a light sentence. You snitch on a tax evader. You make a lot of money.
Don't tell
Yeah.
Takashi 69, man.
Yeah. We'd be like,
Takashi's a billionaire.
Yeah. New business opportunity.
he'll just
We
go
get that.
snitching on Mormons.
Yeah.
But I'm
Gosh.
curious to see how, like, I really want to know how a regular, average Mormon, religious, hardworking person that gives 10% of their income, how do they feel about that?
I would love to hear. Because I have a feeling it's similar to the Joel Osteen thing. I just wish there was a story like this about Joel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I wish we'd get like a whistleblower from the Osteen Foundation. Did you see that Joel and Kanye are doing like a full tour or something?
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
Yeah, Yankee Stadium, right?
Yankee Stadium?
Yeah. They're doing Yankee
not,
Stadium.
bro?
Jesus
Why
Christ.
not?
Literally.
Do it for God.
Yeah.
Okay.
You think Yankee Stadium won't be sold out? Give me a break.
I know 100% will be sold out.
Oh gosh. Okay. Well, listen. That's what's going on. So we'll get some updates soon on this one, I think. Let's talk about Peter Thiel. What the heck's he up to? He's over helping out at Facebook with political advice, and he's all for Mark's strategy of fake news and fake political ads.
Yeah, he's a bit of a douchebag.
Oh.
He's one of the advisors for Trump, and he's been integral in setting up Trump and Zuckerberg in this whole kind of fake news fiasco, and really about how Facebook should operate going forward. He's on the board of Facebook. He was obviously their
Famously, their first investor.
made a fortune. He's very powerful. He's very wealthy. He actually agrees with Zuckerberg that they should not police the fake ads, that they should just let it be.
But don't you think that's because he knows? No, I guess not. That's too narrow-sighted. But it just seems like that directly benefits his
Party.
people.
Yeah.
I don't. So, guys like Peter Thiel, he's a libertarian at heart, and yeah, he supported Trump. So, just because I'm sure it helped him, in his own life to be close to the president.
Yeah.
But they just think about the world differently. So, like, I don't think Peter Thiel is supporting Zuck or advising Zuck like, hey, this is a stance because it's going to help Trump or it's going to help Republicans. I think he really believes that's the right way the world should work, that Facebook shouldn't be the arbiter of truth. I know I have plenty of friends who are like pretty smart people that aren't Republicans that agree that Facebook shouldn't be the one deciding. Like, what happens when it's not Zuck and it's someone else that comes in and they become the person that says, this is what you're allowed to see, this is what you aren't allowed to see.
Yeah. What I don't understand, I would love to hear why that's the case, is like, it's so easy to point to and see the damage that fake news in general has done.
Right. I think the argument is that it's a slippery slope of what's fake news and what's not.
Yeah.
Like,
But to
saying
me, like-
Hillary Clinton killed 16 people and she shouldn't be president, yeah, that's
Is that
obvious.
fake?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
What do I know?
Well, I just think, I don't know. Yeah, that's my problem with it. My problem with it is, what is the difference?
I'm not saying I agree with it. I just think it's way more complex
Yeah.
than people just saying Twitter did the right thing, Facebook's the evil empire. It's probably somewhere in between. The problem is there's no solution to actually fairly
Don't
do
allow
this.
political ads.
That's
Just
what
don't
Twitter
allow
did.
them.
That's Twitter, right?
That's what Twitter did.
Yeah.
But then you can make the argument that the way to remove money from politics is actually being able to gain using platforms like social media.
Fine, go ahead to organically build your fake news following.
What I don't understand is Facebook is a media company. It's like, you're a media company. You're a media.
That's what they'll say they aren't.
But that's
We're a platform.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard, in my opinion. I would love to learn why not, but that is what you are. You're a news and entertainment, whatever, publishing. You're a media company.
It does benefit his party, Peter Thiel's party, because they know how to do it better.
Yeah,
Peter Thiel
but Peter Thiel, a guy like Peter Thiel, regardless of his Trump affiliation, I think he actually thinks about the world 50 to 100 years from now, not like, oh, the next 4 years, this is great for me.
I just don't
I
trust
don't think
Peter
he
Thiel.
thinks about shit.
He seems weird. He
is.
seems weird.
He's a slippery fella.
slippery fella.
Yeah.
I don't
trust him.
Even the whole
That's
Gawker
fine,
thing,
but I think You can agree or disagree with the way he goes about his
I
life.
disagree.
I disagree.
But I think he's really freaking smart, and he's proved it.
Yeah,
Obviously,
but there's a lot of smart people that are not
good
on
people.
the right side of history.
Not fine people.
Agree.
Not
I
on
just
both
think
sides.
he could be dead wrong and unethical the way he thinks about it, but I don't think he thinks about it in the context of 4 years of more Trump.
Sure. I agree.
That's
I
all
agree.
I'm
That's
saying.
why I said it was too
Yeah, yeah.
short-sighted. But okay. Anyway, we'll see. We'll see in 20 years. You know
See
what I
you
mean?
around, D-bag.
How about this? Speaking
I've
of all
been
the
to his
D-bags,
house for a party. His house is sick. In
Peter
LA.
Thiel?
Yeah.
we'll be careful. in
That's
there.
weird. That is
Yeah,
weird.
huh?
Why are you going
Why
there?
is it weird? Tell me why it's weird.
A late night
Yeah, why are you at a late night jaunt?
Who said
at
it's late
some
night?
MAGA
with this slippery
event?
fellow.
What are you?
It was a Hollywood event around
big-
the Golden Globes.
A
It
big
must have been a MAGA Hollywood
political
event.
guy,
The
huh?
Golden Globes is pretty liberal.
Who was there? Mel Gibson?
Epstein.
Oh, it seems pretty Epstein-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Epstein, Mel Gibson were the co-hosts.
You know,
This is
fine
before we
people.
knew Thiel was a Trump guy. This is like 4
Hollywood
years
stuff. Harvey was there.
Harvey.
ago. Harvey Epstein.
You know, the
Mel
boys.
Gibson.
The picture's gonna come out
Just
soon with
cigars.
Anand next
just
to all
us,
them.
just hanging out by the pool.
Oh, man. Okay. How about this? For all of our, well, just a quick check-in for all of our jewel-smoking nicotine addicts. It looks like Congress is on the verge of raising the age for tobacco purchasing to 21.
I love it.
So does this include Jules?
Yes. E-cigarettes as well. Whether
Yeah.
it has a significant impact or not on young people smoking, but like when you're 15 or 16, you know an 18-year-old, you probably don't know a 21-year-old to buy cigarettes.
Yeah, but I do think like
There's
the people that are getting
18-year-old
it are getting it.
Sure, but it's just another,
Yeah.
you
I
know,
agree.
hurdle.
Yep.
And there are high schoolers that are 18 years old. You got to be a real dummy if you're 21 and still in high school.
Well,
It's
yeah.
crazy that like a bill like this automatically gets bipartisan support, but nothing gun related can ever.
Hey man, that was Anand who said it. So if anyone wants to
Yeah.
send their rage, he also was real big on Greta. He actually was like the big advocate for why
Yeah.
we should talk about it. So anyway, Anand's your guy if you want to put a target on someone's back. Yeah, I agree.
I don't
Completely.
understand guns.
I'm actually surprised. I'm surprised with how big those industries are. I'm surprised if they even get this done, to be honest.
I'm surprised because tobacco has a lot more money than the gun industry.
Yeah.
But I mean,
It's a
the
good
gun
move in the
industry is
right
not
direction.
even big compared to like other industries.
But it's just
I mean, there
part
are
of
like
America.
350 million guns.
Guns, sure, but the actual industry is nothing. It's a peanut
But
compared
it's
to.
part of the American fabric, D.
Yeah,
And it's
don't
like,
take away my
From
Second
my
Amendment.
cold, dead hands. You know
Take
what I
away
don't
my
get?
guns, then you take away my cigarettes. What else you
How
gonna take?
dare you? Take away my jewel, my mango. Anyway, whatever. I'll move on from my gun talk. But I would say it's a good move.
Okay.
It's at least one step in the right direction.
Yeah,
I can't
like
believe
it.
Mitch McConnell supports this.
He loves it.
Mitch McConnell doesn't support anything.
Yeah.
Other
He
than
supports
Trump.
that quadruple chin of his, no neck.
You try to ban McDonald's supersize. you
Mitch
have a problem.
McDonald's.
Okay. All right. Last story. Fashion Nova. We've talked about them a lot on the pod. I would consider them friends of ours.
Definitely friends.
They're having some trouble in the press this week. There's all these articles about outrage from underpaid factory workers, warehouse workers, whatever, manufacturers. Doesn't look good. I didn't look into it too far. What's happening?
So I read the whole article, and I don't ever want to avoid talking about our friends,
That's very
good or bad.
fair of you.
You know, I'm fair and balanced.
Yeah, on both sides.
You're a heavy-handed journalist.
Yeah, heavy-handed. You know, I dig deep into the hard thing. But obviously, because people know we're friends with Rich, I got sent this article like 50 times in the last
Yeah, I feel like
24
people
hours.
test us to see if we're
Yeah,
going to
like,
talk about
oh,
our
you're going to
friend.
talk about your friend.
Yeah.
So, shut up. So I read the whole article, and I understand what the problem is. They're saying Fashion Nova does not pay their factory workers. Incorrect.
Yeah.
That is not how it works. And New York Times has a very misleading headline.
Fake New York Times. You're getting all the freaking talking points from
Yeah.
Huntington Beach. Jesus.
I'm ready for you to be
big time.
president.
But I will say I looked into this, and that's what I thought, but I wanted to check that with you.
So here's a real story. is Fashion Nova has vendors. For those that understand this, we were a vendor. 5'4" did work for Fashion Nova. He offers your price. This is what I'm willing to pay for a t-shirt. This is what I'm willing to pay for a jean. This is what I'm willing to pay for a jacket. You as the vendor have the ability to say no or yes. We did it a couple of times. It wasn't right for us. We said, we're not the right partner. These other people can't turn down the business, so they say yes. Then they go on to operate their business and unfairly treat their workers. Don't pay wages, don't pay overtime, whatever it is. And these workers are now suing not only their boss or the company that owns the supplier, but also Fashion Nova, saying Fashion Nova treated me unfairly.
But how is that not in?
So this is something Nike dealt with.
This is something we dealt with.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, this is firsthand account. A sewer we used in downtown for 5'4". This is from like years ago, but it came up 2 years ago. 2 years ago is when we had to deal with it. It was a situation from like 3 years prior to that. That sewer did not pay their workers, and they were owed wages. At least that was the complaint. That sewer subsequently went out of business. So they just keep going down the food chain. So even though it had nothing to do with 5'4", and it's actually, we looked through our invoices, we never used them. The employee actually fabricated invoices saying, oh, I was told it was 5'4", and we never used this sewer. I had to go down personally to the labor department in downtown, and it was me against this worker. And the person who was arbitrating the situation, I came with the attorney, she had an attorney. She's like, oh, her and like her crew, they just keep coming in every week, sticking up vendors, and it's impossible to prove. So he's like, I'm telling you should settle, our attorney. So we settled for something we never actually did.
And it
was thousands of dollars. It wasn't like it was $500.
And here's the thing is customers, I already saw, cancel Fashion Nova. So we as a brand have to be responsible for a factory owner and how they treat their workers. And so Nike went through this with the child labor and ethical wages and all these types of issues. So as you get larger, yes, you have some sort of responsibility to make sure that your vendors, there's like a vetting process. But there's only so much control you have. This is not their factory. If Fashion Nova owned the sewing facility and did not pay their workers, that is one thing. In this instance, like, because Nike being one of the biggest in the world, or H&M or Zara, they are constantly inspecting their factories and have very high standards and have to make sure people get fair wages. Fashion Nova is an emerging
But I would imagine Fashion Nova indemnifies, like, the factory, meaning the factory has to deal with it.
Of course.
Them. This is a hit piece.
It is definitely a hit piece and the problem is people don't understand the way manufacturing works and how this process is done. And people are going to go after them for this, and it's unnecessary bad press. And yes, they have to be, to what extent do they have to be held responsible? It's a very slippery slope on that as well.
Well, I think it's pretty clear what happened here. You had an opportunistic New York Times reporter. It's like Fashion Nova sells price point clothes. That price point shopper is going to be more sensitive to someone who, if a worker is unpaid in the U.S., like how are they supposed to live a wage? If I'm a price point shopper, I myself are probably more economically conscious, so I'll have more sympathy, so this article can go viral. That's how the media works, ladies and gentlemen.
Except the Fashion Nova customer, my guess, doesn't give a shit.
I don't think anyone cares.
No, but it gets
Bad
press
PR.
amongst educated people, which is sad. Not the actual person that they were trying to.
No, it unnecessarily, has an impact on other things he may be interested in doing publicly.
Okay. Well, there you go. There's the, anytime our friends are in the press, send it over.
And D will defend them no matter what.
And we'll take a look.
I mean, I don't think I'm the only one that defended it.
Hey, we talked about Revolve stock when it had trouble.
We dealt with this personally. We got stuck up by a worker that fabricated business that we never did and had to pay thousands of dollars.
Okay. Well, there it is. All right, you guys ready for our new Wednesday segment? Seen on Social.
Yes.
And this is where every week we just point out one fun, cool, interesting, smart, entertaining thing that we saw over the week on social media.
Yes.
Dee, what did you see?
Mine is not smart, but it's very entertaining, and I watched it maybe 10 times.
All right.
It is the preview for the Kardashian finale with Kourtney, Kim, and Kendall impersonating each other, and Kris Jenner impersonating, I forgot who, I think she impersonated Khloe. Kourtney impersonated Kim. She goes, my shoes are Yeezy, my chair is Yeezy, my pants are Yeezy. And then Kim's like, I'm so busy, you know, I'm the innocent mom, always on my phone. Kendall makes fun of Kylie. Yeah. Khloe does an impersonation. She goes, do you know why I have to drink? Because my kids are crazy. And she's just like sucking down drinks.
And that was a promo?
It's a promo.
Oh, that's good.
It's so good.
Do you watch the Kardashians?
No, but I like the clips.
Okay.
I do enjoy the clips.
All right. Anand?
So something we predicted 2 weeks ago, the Peloton wife
Yep.
is a bona fide star.
Does she have followers?
So not only did she do the famous Today Show segment that Dee watched,
Yep.
Loved it.
she's now got a guest role on Bold and the Beautiful.
No.
And she's getting paid $2,000 for the episode.
That's it?
One episode?
$2 grand?
But they said if
Well,
she
we might be celebrating early.
I'm a bona fide star for $2 grand.
This might be an early
But they
celebration.
said if she does well, they're going to bring her back as a regular.
Bump her up to
The Bold and
2,500.
the Beautiful? That is not even the right demo.
Yeah, maybe she's being mismanaged.
Maybe they're hoping that we'll go watch Bold and the
The
Beautiful.
Bold and the... Maybe you will.
And
on
it
a
says
frickin' plane.
TMZ reports that she immediately accepted the offer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
come on.
obviously. Shocker.
Gosh.
$2
Okay.
grand is a joke, though.
Well, that might be an early celebration. I feel like we might not hear about her in January, but
Yeah.
whatever. For right now, she's ending the year strong.
I would, if I was, I forgot what company just is released the Peloton competitor that's like 800 or 900. Not Life and Fitness, one of those other big companies. I would do a Super Bowl ad with her in it.
Yeah.
Like, bet the farm on it. Because she's so
Her
famous.
rate's cheap.
Yeah. I'd be like, we're doing a Super Bowl ad. We need you for 14 hours, or here's $1,500.
Yeah. She'd be like, oh, are you kidding? She'd be like, wow, what an opportunity.
I need a full release to use it wherever the hell I want to
Yeah,
use it.
it's a better rate than Fashion Nova. Kidding. I'm kidding, guys. I love you. Yeah, good stuff. Okay, mine is simply just good old fashioned. This is right up your alley.
Yes.
One of my favorite duos in.
Kevin Hart and The Rock.
Yep. Thank you. So Kevin Hart and The Rock, they're doing all their press for Jumanji.
Can't wait.
Oh, that's going to be a big one for you in 3 years.
Yeah.
and they're just really good. I don't know what these guys get paid on top of their movie contract. I know there's a bonus
Oh, there is.
for social media promotion.
It's not written in the contract?
No, you pay another fee.
Got it.
For them to promote it. But man, they do such a good job, and they're just posting all these videos of them like doing their press tour, and they're just messing with each other, and it's just so good. And when you talk about movies being relevant on social and then whatever, that to me seems like they just nail it. Like when you get one guy or two people that are good together and can make content about releasing the movie, that has to be like a huge
Yeah.
They're a great
bonus.
duo.
But I've literally watched not that long because they're all Instagram clips, but just over and over, funny, pointless. These two idiots just.
They were great in Central Intelligence Agency. I
That-
know Dee loved that movie.
That was, I've rewatched that many times.
That might be your like Oscar winner of the year if you had your own.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm
Best
ranking,
Picture.
I mean, there's a lot of Rebel Wilson movies that are top of my list too.
Garbage.
It's Rebel Wilson, Rock, Kevin Hart. Those
should
are my
go see
three biggest
Cats.
movie stars.
You should go see Cats.
Is Rebel Wilson in Cats?
Yep.
She is?
Yep.
Wow. I'll watch Cats.
Have you seen the commercial?
No.
It's one of the
You know what?
creepiest things that exists.
Kevin Hart does a really good job because he's obviously really rich, but then he does a really good job of doing these interviews on late night talk shows.
Just feel like a regular guy.
yeah, like, oh, I had to do my birthday at Tao, and they told me I had to rent it out, and that's a bill. And like, you're
Yeah.
rich. This is what rich people do.
Yeah. No, you got to
And he-
pretend like the everyday guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't just be like, the Tao probably paid me because I'm rich.
And I remember when he first got really rich, he said he like was hanging out with LeBron Connor D. Wade and bottles came out, and he's like, I have to pay for all this.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
like, yeah, you're rich.
Yeah.
That's what rich people do.
But it's good. He's good.
It's good
connecting to the
content.
common man.
Yeah, he's good. And even his comeback video from his back injury was
Yeah.
really good. Okay, well, there we are. There's Scene on Social. Everyone, make sure you subscribe to our newsletter, especially if you hate Greta Thunberg.
Fuck Greta Thunberg.
Yeah.
Sign up for our newsletter.
Yeah, if you're against Greta Thunberg, this is the newsletter for you.
We got beef over there. Get ready for it.
There you go. So all you gotta do is go to group-chat.com. You'll get a little sign up thing. You sign up right there. If you've already signed up and you haven't heard from us lately, we're probably trapped in your spam box. So make sure you get us out of there. Hit us up on Instagram, Group Chat Pod, and that's about all we got.
That's it.
That's it, guys.
Oh, well, actually, Friday's going to be a huge episode.
Huge.
Oh,
The award show.
the
The
only
award
award
show.
show that matters.
Yeah.
Bigger than the Oscars.
Bigger than the Grammys.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually been certified.
Bigger than the Billboard Women in Music Awards.
Way bigger. Bigger than that stupid Taylor Swift speech.
Put us on the cover of GQ, Pete.
Get us on time.
Yeah,
Like
I
you
wanna
said.
be
We already
cover-
did time. We
No.
don't need a repeat. We already won podcast.
I want to do, put me on the cover of Variety.
Say no more. You guys got it. I'll call him up. We'll have you on the cover tomorrow.
He's the best publicist in town.
Hey,
Yeah.
you didn't ask for it, but I gave it to you.
There you go. Okay, guys, that's it. Thank you so much. Have a good rest of your week, and we'll see you on Friday for the hottest awards show in the game.